Hi, my name is Roberto Martinez. You're Hector, right?
Yeah,
Hi, Hector. It's really nice to meet you. Before we get started, I just want to provide you with informed consent and provide you a little roadmap of about the counseling process would look like, just so everything in this session can be as clear and concise as possible. Is that okay with you? Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that anything you say in here stays between us. I won't share anything you share with me in this session unless you give me explicit permission to share with other people, okay? There is only one exception to that rule, and that exception is if you say anything during our section that I feel like may be a threat or harm to you or others, then unfortunately at that point I will have to report you to the authorities. Is that okay? And then I just want to encourage you that this is your safe space. I want you to share whatever feels natural. I don't want anything to feel forced. Just share what you feel comfortable sharing. And if there comes a topic that you're not comfortable sharing enough yet, then don't share. You don't need to. There's absolutely no pressure for you to share anything you don't feel like sharing. Okay? Ultimately, my job as your counselor is to just support you and help you through anything that you're going through, okay? Alrighty then. Well, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I know coming to these things isn't always very easy. So tell me, Hector, how do you feel about coming to speak with me today?
honestly, I don't want to be here. They told me I should come.
Honestly, I understand how you feel. It seems like you seem a bit unsure about talking with me because you don't quite trust me yet. Would that be about right?
Yeah, I just don't see how talking is gonna fix any of this.
That's totally valid. Especially after everything you've gone through, it's really easy to see like how would words not help fix anything, especially after what you've been through.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Hector. So now can you tell me a little bit about what your life has been like since the accident?
Well, I can't work anymore. I've been doing construction my whole entire life, so, and I'm just down.
I understand. So it sounds like to you, construction wasn't just a job, it was a way of life and a way for you to provide for your friends and family. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the one that provides for them, takes care of them, but yeah,
So it sounds like that's something that really matters to you, being able to provide for your friends and family. And now that that's been taken away, it feels like you lost a major part of yourself, and it weighs on you extremely
yeah, I feel useless.
heavily. So basically, what I'm hearing is because you've lost your way, you don't feel like you're the man you're supposed to be for your friends and family anymore. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna dive into a little bit about your daily life. Hector, talk to me. What does a day in your life look like?
Um, I just sit around, watch TV, and don't really do much.
I see. So you spend a lot of time alone watching TV and not really doing the things that you used to do. What does that do for you emotionally?
I get angry and frustrated.
It sounds like there's a lot of anger and frustration about how the way things have turned out. Is that true?
Yeah,
How has everything since the accident, how has that affected your relationship with your wife and your kids? I know your family is really important to you, so I just want to dive into a little bit more about that.
I don't really talk to them much. I just stay to myself.
So even though they're there, it sounds like you kind of pulled away in order to prevent you from remembering the pain of what's happened or making your family feel sad about what happened. Does that sound true?
Yeah,
Is that right for the most part?
yeah,
When things like this happen, Hector, people find a lot of different ways to cope. how have you been coping with everything that's been going on since the accident?
Just drink. It helps.
Yeah, so alcohol sounds like it's really helping you, especially in multiple different ways. I think it gives you a break and helps you numb from the pain. Would that be about right?
Yeah.
If it's okay with you, I'd just like to ask you a couple questions to figure out more about your drinking habits so I can figure out how to best support you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
How often do you typically have a drink?
Just about every day.
Just about every day. And then on a typical day, or how many drinks would you say you have a week?
I'd say about 5 or 6 since I'm not home all day. Pretty much drink throughout the day.
Gotcha. And then finally, how has your drinking impacted your relationship with your family and friends?
Like I said before, I don't talk to them, so yeah, I kind of just stay to myself.
Alrighty, so basically, from what I've gathered, drinking has really become a major part of how you're coping since the accident. But now, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like your drinking may be starting to cause issues with your family. So that sounds about right.
Yeah,
I'm hearing two sides here. On one hand, drinking is the way you cope, but on the other hand, part of you notices that this may start becoming a problem. Is that
yeah.
true?
I mean, I know it's not great, but yeah,
So part of you is starting to question it, but part of you feels like it's the only way forward. Is that right? So Hector, right now to me, it sounds like you're in the contemplation stage of change.
what even is that?
So basically, Hector, the contemplation stage is that part of you recognizes that there's a problem, but the other part of you isn't quite ready to make a change yet. Does that sound about right? Does that best describe your situation?
Yeah, I guess.
Alrighty. What would you think has been the hardest part about all this since your accident, Hector? What has been the hardest part for you?
Well, since I'm not able to work, I'm at home all the time, so that means I'm not providing for my family, and that's something that was a big part of me. So definitely not providing for them.
I understand. You losing your ability to provide, it's not just about work. It's about your identity and about who you are as a man, husband, and a father. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, Hector. If things were to be even a little bit different for you, what would that feel like? What would that look like?
I mean, since I don't speak to my family that much anymore, I feel like it'd be good if I started speaking to my kids again. Like, I want to be there for them. I want to be there for my wife, and yeah,
I honestly really admire that about you. That honestly says a lot about you. Despite everything that you've gone through, your family is still first on your mind and first on your heart, and wanting to be there and provide for them. That says a lot about your heart and who you are as a person, Hector. I really admire that. That's awesome.
thanks.
Now, Hector, what's one small thing, not a big change, that you would be willing to implement?
I want to try and open the door to speaking to my family again. Definitely creating or recreating our relationship because I feel like since we own a family business, that I should be able to speak to my family. So I want to get that.
Awesome. So it sounds like reconnecting with your family is one of your biggest goals right now. What are some small ways you could start to implement that in your daily life?
Well, definitely just calling my parents and my siblings back because they seem to call and come by the house a lot. So I want to, get back into that, talk to them again.
That's really good. We've talked a lot about your injury and how it has really changed your life, not only in physical ways, but also relational ways, such as affecting your relationship with your friends and family. What do you think would be some small changes that you would be willing to make in order to make sure you're staying in contact with them and not letting that spark go out? I know you said you wanted to call them more, but are there family events you like to go to or something, or what do they do?
I don't know what they do, but I know that the business is a big part of our life. So just going to see them, getting out of the house more, not relying solely on drinking will probably be one step. But I take it pretty hard since I can't move the way I used to. I mean, my hip is injured. I have a limp, so can't really do much right now.
Yeah, I can see the emotion and the pain in your eyes when you tell me that, and I truly apologize. So, if anything, what could be some ways that you could possibly try to rehabilitate yourself? Might I suggest some light yoga or some stretching to possibly help you build up the mobility back in your hip? Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure. That might help. I'll speak to my doctor about that.
That's good. You don't want to overwork yourself because if you overwork yourself, you're just going to re-injure yourself, and we don't want that. So make sure you just go really light and don't try to push yourself too hard too fast. All right.
All right.
Thank you for coming in and speaking with me today, Hector. I know that wasn't easy. So how about next time for next session, we try to find different ways for you to manage your stress and try to cope with the temptation of drinking so you aren't drinking so much. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas about what you might want to do? Any hobbies? Like reading, swimming?
Yeah, I like to read, so I guess I could continue to read more.
Reading is good because it'll help keep your mind off the pain. So once again, I really appreciate you taking the time to come speak with me, and just know this is one small step in just your road to recovery, but you'll be back out there in no time. I have faith in you, and I know you're gonna do amazing.
Thank you, Mr. Roberto. I know I didn't want to come here before, and I still don't, but I think that over time, I'll see if things will change.
Are you excited for that change?
Yes,
Or is it scary?
I'm ready for that change.
You're a good man, Victor.
Thank you.
Where the fuck?